sculpture is taking class.
Okay.
A sculptor, how do you refer to
Okay.
identify yourself like that? You're taking classes.
Okay.
And what else do you think we could learn there? You gave me a lot of great
Okay.
on that other interview. I don't like the material of that.
How does being a student at CC help you?
Okay.
Let's shoot.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, right now? My name is Hernan Gomez, and I am a visual artist who is taking classes here at the Santa Fe Community College. And coming here to the Santa Fe Community College has greatly helped my career. I am in the beginning footsteps of starting a job at the Los Alamos National Labs because of coming to this community college. And I am making great work because I've learned better skills as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really good. What is sculpture?
Sculpture is a visual form that entails making a three-dimensional object. From what's going on now, currently in the fine art field, that is becoming more loosely defined. Not necessarily just entailing 3D objects, but also video, installation, even drawing as sculpture. So combining different media into creating something that entails two different forms. So it's the term sculpture is changing a lot right now. And that has to do with the fact that, I could go into depth of discussing that, like an area that's postmodern, and it's not necessarily just based on a very singular and strict definition of what that means. But for me, sculpture is anything that can exist and inhabit the real world without necessarily just hanging on a wall like a painting. It's a very modernist approach to sculpture, but to me that still holds a lot of merit and weight.
Okay. How did you get started with sculpture?
I started making little clay doodads when I was a young kid, and from that point on I decided that I wanted to keep making work, and it was something that really soothed me to just use my hands to create something. And from that point on I got involved in some welding classes here at Santa Fe High, and since then I've been working with metal and making steel sculptures. So.
Maybe give me that, your name again, so maybe
This way. My name's Hernan Gomez Chavez.
Yeah, give that line about being a sculptor.
Okay, my name is Hernan Gomez Chavez. I am a visual artist and a sculptor, and I am studying at Santa Fe Community College.
Great. The lighting is great. As long as you got sound. Anything else you think you'd like to say?
I can't really think of anything.
Pretty well.
Okay.
Great audio.
What would you advise somebody who wants to become an artist or a sculptor, which is also an artist?
What I would suggest for anybody who's interested in the arts or fine arts is two things. To either delve into a craft that's related, that can make your work better, so that it's something that's substantial and beautiful in its own right, not necessarily just based on the aesthetics, but the quality of production. The other thing would be to incorporate the STEM field, anything that's related to science, technology, engineering, and math, into the type of work that is being made now. And I think that's something that's being done more now. There's even this whole thing in public schools that art needs to be integrated into STEM as well. So it's not just STEM, but STEAM. And I think that's really important because some of the people who think about taking art classes don't always consider that there's a lot of value in going into a technical field as well. So that just, they kind of work back and forth with each other and can really embellish and make the work all that much better. So it's not just about going and taking art classes, it's about broadening that knowledge, that base, and learning new things, because new media is becoming more important in the fine arts. It's becoming more prominent wherever you go into art fairs or even museums. And you need to have a technical background in order to do that. You need to know about these emerging technologies, like know what 3D printing is, or know how to do video installation, or get a better idea of how sensors work in creating these installations that are more user-friendly and engage the people who enter these spaces. And there's more of these spaces opening up. They're DIY spaces as well, but there's just a lot to say about doing this kind of work and including all the emerging technology that's happening right now. So if you're going to be an artist that's going to, create a career that's going to be long-lasting, you have to be in the know of everything that's going in today. So that's something that's really important for anybody who's considering the arts.
That's a great point that needs to go in somebody that clears that background right there.
Yeah.
Well, and stressing that it's not just one thing,
Yeah.
because we're seeing a lot of that. I've seen Arnold's little display that it's that little gazebo-shaped thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He's got a projector.
Yeah.
It's on the book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that, he calls that media.
Yeah. And like new media is like here in Santa Fe in particular, like we're going on the 3rd year of the Currents New Media, what do you call it? It's not an art fair, but it's sort of a conference where like a bunch of different artists from different places around the world come here to Santa Fe to show their work. And I mean, we're becoming a hub for that kind of thing. We already have art as something that, embodies what the culture of Santa Fe is and like what people imagine when they think, what is Santa Fe? They think Canyon Road. But to me, there's more to it than that. For me, if you're making art here in Santa Fe, it has to be very relevant. It has to be some context that's related to the community that's already here. And beyond that, you have to be making work that kind of uses those new technologies. And I mean, I'm a little, personally, I'm ambivalent into how that plays out in Santa Fe and the communities that are being affected by certain groups because of the use of that media. But for me, it's very important to include this new emerging technology along with questions of equity. So it's very complicated. It's not just like one-sided. It's not just about the consideration of technology, but also how does that impact community, and how do we make this into a work that's going to be long-lasting based on the community being affected and the place where it lives.
Not unless we just want to reframe it in any way, like do what tighter. Well, he's pretty tight. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
cropping.
I love it.